There she is.
Hey,
What's up, Rockstar?
how are you? Good to
I'm good.
see
Can you hear me?
you. Yes, I can. Perfect.
Perfect. All right. So, what's up, Pranaya? So good to see you.
So good to see you too.
You're in Bombay now? Or are you in Goa?
Yes, I'm in Bombay.
Oh, lovely. Killer. All
Yeah.
right. So, I know we don't have a lot of time, but
hmm
can you tell all our viewers what is it that you do and why do you do it?
Um, so I've had an interesting well-being journey, and currently I teach Himalayan Kriya, Vedic meditation, and really empower people to access a deeper state of consciousness, to really evolve and peel layers that hold them back from moving to their highest potentiality.
In layman's term, all right, like how no,
So
for
we,
people who don't know, because I'm sure like there is a different form of meditation that you perform, there's a or practice, and there's a different form of yoga that you do. So
right.
can you just explain to us that what is how does it differ from the things that we perceive as meditation or yoga?
So yoga for us most often is always considered an asana based yoga, right? When we
Yep.
say yoga, I'm going to an asana class. And asana is, I would like to call it like the doorway to yoga, because yoga essentially is unity,
Mm-hmm.
and yoga is a lifestyle, right? Where we are able to be in unity in every moment that we're living. Um, Taking a step back, going into awareness. So, deep states of awareness, when we access, we start living yoga, where we look at life from a perspective of, hey, I want to be fully present in this moment, enjoying whatever I may be doing, even if it's eating that chocolate cake, but really eating it without guilt, right?
So the
Not
smile.
obsessing, not obsessing that, hey, it's going to add calories, I'm going to look this way, I'm going to be this way. So I think that's the beautiful teaching about yoga, right? Like, be in complete awareness and unity in whatever you are doing fully.
Yep. So
And
uh,
that's the practice which
yep.
essentially we use breath as the most powerful tool to bridge that gap between life and your state of consciousness. Because the only thing that's the most relevant and the most tangible to all of us is our breath.
Yep.
The first thing you do when you come into this world is your breath, and the last thing is your breath. So it's pretty much a journey that we take you through, and breath is the most dominant factor apart from other tools. So we use mantra, we use sound syllables, we use movement, we use stillness. So different aspects that we empower people to really be guided on a beautiful journey inward, and that's what we call yoga, and that's what the sattva integrated technique teaches and practices. So we call it the yogic technology and philosophy.
And what drew you to this to go towards this direction?
Um, my first encounter with Ananji Mehrotra, who is my teacher, mentor, the most incredible master, was in 2020, which was at the IYF, which is the International Yoga Festival in Rishikesh. It's one of the most beautiful spaces um, that happens by the Ganga. And I was there this morning where I had a stall, and everyone said, oh, you need to go attend this particular class. So at 7 a.m., I show up to this beautiful class with 150 people. And Ananji was leading this session, and my mind was just blown. It was the first time I had experienced Kriya, the first time that I felt such a massive shift in the way I felt internally and externally. I almost cried the whole day after that session in the most beautiful way. Like, there was just so much joy and awe for life. And then we went through a lockdown, and life happened. I moved to
Yeah.
Goa, and then last year is when I decided to shift things in my life and change the way I was leading my lifestyle. And I went and studied with Ananji at Satwa, which is in Rishikesh. And now I finished over 1,000 hours of training. I'm a master teacher and a Vedic astrologer from Satwa.
Uh, Anything in your own personal journey with health or fitness that actually took you towards this?
I would say there were two significant markers. One was a physical ailment that I had about 8, 9 years ago that kind of set me on this well-being journey, which was a physical aspect that I healed through Ayurveda, just mindful eating, and
What was it exactly?
it was an irritable bowel syndrome, which
Okay.
apparently I was born with. But of course, 35 years ago, these things weren't detected. And, gluten and lactose intolerance really wasn't a thing growing up. So, cut to this was detected, was pretty bad. And, there was like the allopathy doctor saying, hey, you need to get on to antidepressants and things like that, which I did take for a week, 10 days. And then I was like, okay, this isn't working because by and large, my state of being was very conscious. Like I always liked things that were more natural and more intuitive. And that's what stepped me out on this journey of discovery and how well being is beyond just a physical aspect of an asana practice, which I already had for almost 3 or 4 years before this incident took place. And it wasn't just going to the gym or going to a Pilates class, but it was really a mindset, an all encompassed way of us showing up to life and being conscious across the board with what we eat, what we consume from all aspects, be it the conversations, the content, the food, the lifestyle, people, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So that was the shift that happened 8 years ago when I was really inspired to start the first wellness festival that we started. And more recently, then it was a personal breakup. Like always, there's a personal story um, that really pushed me to the edge. But I would like to say that our challenges are our biggest gifts, right?
Absolutely.
Our obstacles really push us to a wall where we start growing. They become springboards to opportunities to growth. It's like the law of nature, right? When we sow a seed, um, until it really germinates, it's always like the earth is pushing it back down. It's going against gravity. And then once it germinates, it sprouts up, nature really supports it and encourages it to thrive. And I think same way as humans, like nature knows what is our innate potentiality. So we're always pushed to the edge with challenges that we call challenges, but I would like to say they're just springboards to quantum leaping
Yeah, I mean, in the
and winning.
moment, in at that
Yeah,
moment, like it feels like if the world's completely shattered and
absolutely. Yeah,
all learnings, right? And
yeah,
you come out stronger from things. So obviously,
absolutely.
so you're saying that this entire health practice, like I'm going to try to put this thing that we are talking about as a health practice, like how calisthenics is a health
Right.
practice, or maybe going to the gym is a practice for your health and fitness. So how do you help clients
Hmm.
basically when they come to you with this entire practice? Do they have to come and show up for an hour in a day or 3 hours in a week? How does it work?
So it's pretty flexible
Okay.
and it's also very versatile and dynamic. Um, we teach over 200 kriyas and we have a toolkit of many different experiences that we can take an individual on. So it really depends on what is their commitment and where they're at and where they aspire or desire to be. So based on this path that we need to create for them, they can either work maybe once a week or twice a week one on one, but there's a personal practice that we give everyone, which is what actually allows the juice to come through. Because I feel like when people are empowered by themselves to take up a personal practice where you show up for yourself for 30 minutes or 1 hour, that's non negotiable, that's when you start seeing the change, right? It's like going to the gym, but I can't only work out with my trainer once a week and expect to get those abs, right? It is a well-rounded practice. I need to work out, I need to make sure I'm eating right, and make sure that I'm also working out on the days that I don't go to my trainer.
Yep.
So
I mean,
similarly,
you have a system that you're following, and
yeah,
that's giving you that mental discipline also, right? It's giving you that confidence in your head that this
absolutely.
you allocate a certain amount of time for yourself and you show up.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
And that's how it is.
so
Staying
so
power is deserving power.
absolutely. So what are the problems like usually what problems or usually come when clients come to me, they come with a problem. Like I can see a comment right now, how to lose
Wait.
weight without any diet. But that's not happening. I mean, you need to have some nutritional discipline also. But you can try out fit crew. I mean, we do give nutrition plans and it won't feel like a diet. But anyways, moving on beyond hopeless marketing. uh, but yeah, so what are the problems generally that people come to you with? Is it relationships? Is it business? Is it health? And how do you sort it out?
I've been having a lot of people coming to me with clarity, focus, um, feeling foggy, can't find a purpose or can't really stick to their goals, overwhelmed with a lot of things that they want to do but can't seem to really accomplish. So it's more oriented to, I would say, emotional and mental um, resilience towards things, right? Like that's the challenge that they have, where they can't really have that staying power to stick into something that they really want to do.
So people in their early 30s.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, that's where you're figuring things out now.
Yes.
Things
Yes.
that just got real.
Things
Yeah.
have gotten real.
Yeah.
And they're all beautiful startup founders, entrepreneurs, soul companies, starting companies. So they're all in this really incredible space where everyone is so inspired to create.
Yeah.
And I think that was one of the inspirations that I had as well, because I've had my own entrepreneurial journey for the last 10 years. And there were challenges that commonly would come up for me and my friends, but we would have to go to different people to seek help or find a solution, whether it was a spiritual teacher teaching you how to meditate, but then the spiritual teacher didn't understand the dynamics of business, and then you go to a business coach, but then they have a very dogmatic approach to profit centric and not purpose and passion. So you're kind of like torn between purpose, passion, profit.
Yeah.
um, and that's where I was really inspired, because I feel like we can't really differentiate these aspects of our lives, right? We are an integrated being where passion, purpose, profit, prana, which is our life force, is all us. So this program that we learn and what we teach at Satwa and what I practice is such a beautiful integrated approach to, I would say, leading life with Vedic wisdom.
There is this phrase in Japanese known as ikigai, right? I mean,
Hmm.
uh, people speak about it quite a bit. And
Yeah,
ikigai is like when everything overlaps, where what you do for your career, it fulfills a purpose, it fulfills a sense of giving, a sense of earning. It gives you
hmm,
a little bit of everything.
right.
So, yeah, I mean, I think what you do and what you're practicing will help a lot of leaders find their ikigai. Um, but yeah,
Yes,
you also mentioned something about the leadership program, right?
yes. So that's the Sattva Integrated Leadership Program that we will be rolling out soon, which essentially covers the 9 pillars of evolution,
Mm-hmm.
which is pretty much relevant to everybody who's a leader in some shape or form, and doesn't necessarily have to lead a company or a community, but just stepping up into your own leadership. Because I feel oftentimes we don't take accountability or agency of our own growth, and we think it's outsourced, or we validate it or externalize it to other people and situations. So through these 9 aspects, we work with how perception shapes reality. How do you create an abundant mindset? how you are the creator of your own life. So we work with Vedic wisdom, we work with practices, breath techniques, tools, insights. It's a really accelerated module that empowers people to navigate challenges and really seize opportunities in the most optimum way. So you have clarity, you have focus, and you're also leading from a more evolved state of consciousness.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Sounds good. Like, do you have any stories, like any success stories where somebody's come to you and you help them sort an issue in their work or professional life or personal life?
Yeah, it was interesting because one of my clients one morning sends me a text saying, um, I had 10 things on my to-do list, and for 2 months, those 10 things, I could barely get done 2 things a day. And suddenly she's like, I'm doing 12 out of 10 things. And I was like, okay, amazing. So that's when you know, right? Like you are being present, you are being accountable for yourself, and you're really showing up for yourself.
Yep.
And I think that's the beauty of life, where we take full responsibility and accountability for everything that we experience, whether it's the good, the bad, the painful, the loving, the happy, the sad. And that's the beautiful duality of life, where when we stop labeling them and look at them as just beautiful experiences, I think we start living life from such a profound way of being, where,
Yeah.
like everything is just beautiful and loving and blissful.
Yeah, so there is a deep sense of gratitude that I sense in the entire practice, where you go more from come more from an understanding point of view, and
Mm-hmm.
you start accepting certain things. I think that is what the Kriya will definitely teach somebody. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, so what is your fitness routine like? For somebody like me who doesn't have such an inclination towards or such a deep understanding about Kriya, I have a different
Mm-hmm.
fitness routine. What's
Mm-hmm.
your fitness routine and what keeps you physically fit?
Well, it's across the board. It's kickboxing, it's going for a run by the riverside, or just skipping around a little bit. So it varies what my active fitness aspect is. But of course, Kriya, breath, asana practice is non-negotiable. And then the other cardio, fitness, physical aspects can vary every day. So it's even just going to the gym for half an hour, 45 minutes, picking up some weights, or going to a class. It depends on my mood. And luckily, being between Bombay and Goa, there are lots of beautiful trainers that you have
Yeah,
access to. So it's always nice to keep it fresh and variable. Yeah.
absolutely. That sounds cool. But what about your nutrition? Like, do you follow anything like an Ayurvedic practice or a plant-based diet? What's your nutrition structure like?
Well, I do keep in mind a lot of Ayurveda principles, which are quite simple and very readily doable in the times that we live in. But I eat whatever I want when I feel like, and I just eat it well. Um, I think that's what it is, right? We shouldn't get so obsessive about everything that we eat. Of course, you got to be aware. So, sugar, gluten, bread is something that's very limited in my diet. But if I'm eating it, I will indulge in it, and I will happily do it. And I think that's what it is, where you don't get obsessed over everything that you're doing in
Yeah.
life, right? You've got to just be easy, be happy. It's okay, right? Treat yourself, because also when we start getting too obsessed with nutrition, that also then creates emotional barriers,
Yeah.
right? Then psychologically, it goes down at a deeper level, where that becomes a pattern or a norm, where you're constantly obsessing over certain things. And I think that takes away the joy of life at the end, where we can just enjoy every moment.
Yeah, I'll give you a funny stat. I mean, it's not funny; it's very, it's alarming. But eating disorders
Mm-hmm.
are, have the highest fatality rate amongst all mental disorders.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You'd usually think that it's depression or anxiety, maybe something like that, but actually, eating disorders is what tops the list, where people just stop eating or eat with a very unhealthy mindset.
Absolutely.
Uh, and when you create that barrier for when you create that entire difference where you think that okay, to work, if you have to eat extremely well to stay fit, it just becomes such a big burden on your
Mm-hmm.
head. So you need to allow yourself certain joy and certain things that you really like to include in your diet, and learn the
Absolutely.
balance
Yeah.
of life, like how you can
Yeah.
balance nutrition, balance exercise. Even too much of exercise is bad. You can get injured,
Yeah.
which I just learned. Like I kind of injured my elbow. So yeah, so we tend to go overboard at times, but we need to listen more to our body, be more
Yeah.
instinctive, and
I
that
think
helps quite a bit.
that's the word, right? Instinctive and
Yeah,
intuitive. When we become really aware to our inner state, then you don't become rigid, right? What suits me may not suit you, and what's good for me could be what's good for you could be really bad for me. And I think when we don't have that one size fits all approach, where everything becomes more relatable to you, where you customize it based on what your needs and requirements are. And I think that's the beautiful learning that we have, right? Which even goes back to our scriptures, where this body of knowledge that we've had passed down is so beautiful. There's so many rich pearls of wisdom that the Indian scriptures have. But every teacher, every master has interpreted it in their own
right.
way for the time that's been relevant to where they're living or where they're teaching. And
Absolutely.
I think that's the biggest learning that we can get from our own tradition, that just be where you are, but be fully present and move towards growth in whatever way that may mean to you.
Perfect.
And I think that is a really beautiful take back. Yeah. Eat that pasta, eat that cake, and then just go work out. It's absolutely fine. Look at the Italians. I mean, come on. They're
Yeah,
eating their
absolutely.
pasta and pizza all the time, and they're just so happy sipping on their macchiatos, right?
Yeah. But they walk also quite a bit, right? We over here, like we don't have spaces to walk and we barely move that much, so we have a pretty sedentary lifestyle as well. So
Absolutely.
the like we have to know the trade-offs, and we need to know what we need to do. Uh,
Absolutely.
yeah, but for somebody who might not invest but wants to actually try out a little bit about your practice, is
Mhm.
there any routine that one could do, or what a 5 minute or 10 minute routine that I could do on a daily basis just to get more instinctive and intuitive?
Absolutely. So, first, I would start with tuning into your breath.
Okay.
In the moment, just become deeply aware of your breath. And do you want to be guided for a 2 minute breath set? Yeah, let's do it. I think that would be the most impactful live moment.
Absolutely. Let's go for it.
All right.
All right. So
So,
everybody live, if they want to join for a 2 minute breath work session, then let's do it. We're going for it.
close your eyes and become deeply aware of your breath, deeply aware of your inner state, and inhale through the nose 7 times, soft, smooth, equal breaths. At the top of 7 counts, hold the breath for a moment and exhale through the nose. 7 soft, smooth exhalations. Inhale through the nose. Hold the breath at the top for a moment and exhale through the nose. Inhale again, 7 counts through the nose. Visualize inner light getting brighter, more luminous, more radiant with each breath. Hold the breath at the top for a moment and exhale for 7 counts. One last round. Inhale through the nose. Breath of light, breath of love, breath of unity, breath of abundance, breath of luminosity, breath of clarity, breath of spirit. Exhale through the nose for 7 counts. Soft, smooth, gentle breaths. After this round, come to the center, and whenever you feel ready, come into the space.
Wow, I feel completely recharged.
4
That was good.
minutes.
That was very refreshing. But you have some lung capacity, ma'am. Like, I mean, I was here struggling with holding my breath. It's insane. So it's difficult for sure. I'm going to say that. Uh, but yeah, it does bring a lot of focus, and I do feel like completely energized. Feels like I've had a pre-workout, to be honest. But yeah,
But
it's pretty. Uh, it's like the only word that I'm getting again and again is energized. Like I feel pretty charged up.
that's the power of Kriya. It
Okay.
it's Kriya means evolutionary action, right? And breath is the medium that takes you to these evolutionary states of being.
Lovely. So if somebody, Pranaya, if somebody wants to sign up with you, how
Mhm.
do they go about
They can reach out to me on my Instagram page, which is prana108 underscore. And once they DM, we'll send them all the details for the coursework and how the process works. We have a pre-registration form that we get them to fill out to understand where they're at and where they want to be. And then our team kind of puts it together and yeah, we get started.
it? Perfect. Great.
Mm-hmm.
That's all the question that I had for you, and thank you so much for coming on live, having this chat with us, explaining
Thank
it to everybody, and also giving us
you.
a live session. I mean, that's fabulous. Like we got a glimpse of what you do with your clients and how impactful and energetic it could be for us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's been really beautiful to be here and share space with you. And yeah, I hope we can always inspire more people to really lead towards growth and evolution. And really, even if they feel overwhelmed or absorbed, always just move towards higher evolutionary action
Yeah,
because the transformation really begins in the here and now in this moment, right? Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Perfect. So
Amazing.
let's conclude with this, and we'll definitely connect again, and we'll try to do another session around something else.
Absolutely.
I also want to speak to you about the goddess program that we spoke about, so we'll probably do that next time.
Yeah, that would
We'll
be
save something for later on.
amazing to share more about the divine feminine. Amazing. So good to see you and speak to you. And thank you all for tuning in. And
Thank
see
you.
you
Thank you so
soon.
much, everyone. All right. Bye bye.
Bye. See you.